On Game Show.
You're watching Game Show Network. Number 1. What is your name, please?
My name is Mark McGrath.
Number 2.
My name is Mark McGrath.
Number 3.
My name is Mark McGrath.
Only one of these people is the real Mark McGrath, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, let's meet our panel. Film and television producer, David Niven, Jr. Prominent attorney, Gloria Allred. Four-time Super Bowl champion and MVP, Lynn, Swann. And TV interviewer and host, Sarah Purcell. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Gordon Elliott.
Well, thank you and welcome. Good morning, panel. Good morning. Hang on, what's wrong with this picture? Sarah, Gloria, you wearing identical outfits.
Almost. To tell the truth, maybe that's Gloria Allred.
Did you plan this?
Actually, as you can tell, no.
Actually, psychic connection, I don't think you're the only ones doing it. I think it's Blazer Day for the men, too, is it not?
Yes,
Oh, yes. We'll have to give him some Fred Siegel gold buttons.
I don't have any gold buttons because I can't afford them.
Oh. 1, 2, 3.
Jugan White, Lynn Swann,
The
Pittsburgh.
gold button campaign. Gloria, I must be honest, I've been a long admirer of your work in women's rights. And
Well, thank you very
congratulations.
much.
You fought some tough cases and done wonderful things.
Thank you.
And,
I admire your good judgment.
Oh, thank you. Enough. Let's get to the story presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Mark McGrath. Now, here is his affidavit, and you can read along with me. I, Mark McGrath, am an inventor. My most recent invention is the Sink Flush that earned me honors and sent me to the National Invent America contest. It began because my mother gets so mad when the family leaves food in the sink. The food dries in the sink and is hard to get off. I went to my workbench in the garage and put together a sink that can flush its sides clean like a toilet bowl. If that invention doesn't make me rich, I have some other ideas. Right now, I'm working on a submarine that can fly and a robotic dog that could turn out to be man's best friend. Signed, Mark McGrath. Hey, guys. Welcome, you three clever young men. We'll be right back after this to find out more about the youngest inventor. Don't leave.
Hi, Bob Vila here to show you a unique new Craftsman tool no home should be without.
Call 1-800-604-1818 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to Jingle Ring, P.O. Box 20, Department GS, Los Angeles, California.
Welcome back to Tell the Truth. And panel, these three people all claim to be Mark McGrath, inventor of the Sink Flush. Let's start the questioning on this one with the beautiful Sarah.
Well, thank you so much. Number one, what grade are you in?
Third.
You're in third grade.
I'm going into fourth.
Okay, all right. Number two, are you a good student?
Yes.
You don't spend all your time inventing?
No. I like to spend time at school.
Number three, does anyone help you with your inventing?
Yes.
Who's that?
It'd be my mom and my dad.
Your mom and dad help you with the inventing?
Yes.
Are there any other inventors in your family?
No.
Number one, are there any other inventors in your family?
No.
Number two?
No.
Well, that clears that up.
Number one, does your father have a science background?
No, not really. He works on electronics, but that's about it.
Okay. Number two, what do your friends think about you inventing things?
Well, most of them think it's pretty cool. But there are a few, like the school's bullies who try to be the coolest kids, and they just think I'm weird.
Yeah. I know, I used to dance. I used to think I was weird, too. Yeah, a guy named Lynn. Number three, do you have a dog of your own? A real dog?
Yes, I do.
Oh, but you want to invent a robotic dog?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have to clean up after the robotic dog. Gloria.
Number 3, you're working on a submarine that can fly. Why would you want a submarine to be able to fly?
Well, I think it would help our country and stuff because it can sort of like take off like a rocket, and then it can land in the water, and they can go down under the water.
Mm-hmm. Are you working on any other inventions?
Yes, the solar-powered train.
Right. Number 2, which inventions are you working on?
Well, right now, I am working on the submarine that can fly, and also it's a solar-powered car that the solar pieces are on top, and it also charges a certain kind of battery pack, so that way when the sun goes down, it can still run.
Number 1, do you want to be an inventor?
Sorry, Gloria. David Niven Jr.
Spoke very quickly there, Gloria, but too bad. My turn. Number 1. How old were you when you invented the sink flush?
Same age.
Same age as now. Number 2, what did you invent before the sink flush?
Well, one thing was just in my backyard, I have these little gardens, and I hooked up a bunch of PCV pipe to make a irrigation system, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like. Number 3, what are you going to call the robotic dog? Does it have a name?
Well, I'm going to call it Man's Friend, or Man's Second Best Friend, something like that.
Second best
I haven't really made up the name yet.
I see, so there's no work in...
All right, it was going to be called Tex, the Wonder Dog, with a CH. Time's up, panel. Time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is filled completely, the team will receive $3,000. If you're ready to cast your ballots, we'll begin with Sarah.
This is tough
Isn't
because
it?
all 3 were very impressive. I don't know, though. There's something that tells me that it's number 3. I can't tell you what, but woman's intuition.
He's blushing. Don't blush, it may give it away. Lynn.
Well, I watched them all up there, and they were so cute. And number 1 was winking at someone, and number 2 was very proud up there, and number 3 was like fighting to smile, and they all sounded really good. So I voted for number 3 also.
Okay. Gloria.
Well, I'm having a sinking feeling about whether or not I'm going to be right, but I'm going to choose number 3 because he seemed to want to do something for our nation and seems to have thought about it quite a bit.
He wanted to eliminate the peace dividend. David.
Well, this is extraordinary. We're either all right or we're all wrong. I want you to know. There.
Number 3
Another
as well.
3 has reared its ugly head.
Okay, well, as you can see, no votes for number 1, no votes for number 2, 4 votes for number 3. Somebody could be made a kid out of. Now it's time to find out who the real kid inventor is. Will the real Mark McGrath please stand up? Oh, good on you.
I don't know if that's a good sign when those 2 young men can fool us.
Come along here. I'm just going to have Mark here ready to demonstrate the product with me in a moment. We're going to show you that. But number 2, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Joshua Lohman. I like skateboarding. I go to Griffith Middle School.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to hurry. And number 3, congratulations. You fooled all the grown-ups in the room. What's your real name? What do you do?
My real name is Jessica Zito. I like biking and photography.
And you,
And I go to Yucca School.
tremendous. He'll make a great game show host one day, won't he? He can tell a lie so effectively. Now, Mark, show us how it works. And look at that. Oh, it's the Trevi Fountain. Mark, congratulations. And I believe you've also got an atomizer you're going to shrink things with. Is that correct?
Yeah, to help, like, you can enlarge stuff so, like, would have a lifetime supply of food and...
From 1 Mars bar and something like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Or we could, and make, the ozone layer bigger.
Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations. You know, you guys walk away with fooling the panel and you take $3,000 with you. Thank you very much.
At the end, I thought, that he was going to pick 3.
Okay, you thought you were going to pick 3? Yeah. You're very clever, all of you. We'll be back with a lady who uses her sex appeal to nab a robber right after this. Don't go away.
All across America.
To tell the truth, let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Paula Thistle.
Number 2.
My name is Paula Thistle.
Number 3.
My name is Paula Thistle.
Okay, panel, it's up to you to locate the real Paula Thistle, and here is her story. Please read along with me. I, Paula Thistle, caught a thief. When my husband's car phone was stolen, I got mad. That phone wasn't cheap, and I wanted it returned. I wondered who would answer if I dialed my husband's mobile number. When a man answered, I put on my sexy little girl voice and told him how lonely I was, and I wanted to have a little fun. I sounded dumb, but this guy was really dumber. We made a date. The authorities kept that date. They made 2 arrests. So I got 2 birds with 1 phone call, but I didn't get the phone. It's being held for evidence. Signed, Paula Thistle. Welcome, ladies, and congratulations, whoever you are. Let's start the questioning with David Niven Jr. David.
Thank you. Number 1, what make of phone was this?
This was a Bell Atlantic cellular phone.
Thank you. Number 2, when you put on this little girl voice, how old were you pretending to be?
Oh, about 17, 18.
And how old did you think the man was?
Well, I was just playing off of what he said. I was judging as I went along. I figured he was probably early 20s.
Early 20s. Number 3, what were they? Was this part of a gang of people that steal cars from phones?
Oh, I don't know that. I can assume that they make a profession out of this, but I'm really not sure.
And number 1, where did this take place?
This was in Frederick, Maryland.
And
We'll leave it there. Gloria, you're next.
Number 3, what did he say during that telephone conversation?
We talked a lot of general talk about each other and personal information and a lot of flirtation, and then we set up a date.
Number 2, where did you meet for that date?
We met at the Spring House, and that's a place in Rochester, New York.
Number 1, and how long was that conversation on the phone?
That was about 10 minutes.
And number 3, let's hear your sexy little girl voice.
Well, I can't say everything I said on the air.
I want to hear what she said as well as the voice. Oh, Lynn.
Number 1, was your husband with you when you were talking on the phone to the thief?
No, he was not.
He was not. Number 2, what did you say that sounded so dumb?
Well, I don't know. It was just the whole tone of voice. I just kind of wanted to sound really young and innocent and a little lonely.
Yeah. Number 3, didn't he wonder where you got the phone number from?
Yes, that was one of his first questions, and I told him that I just randomly make phone calls.
Number 1, did he ask you about the phone number, where you got it?
No. Actually, as I placed the call, he was calling out, so the calls intercepted each other.
Oh.
And finally, Sarah.
Ooh. Have you ever played number 1, have you ever played a practical joke before?
Yes, frequently.
Oh, can you describe one?
I'd rather not.
Did you learn anything from the police, number 1? Did you learn anything from the police about car phones and ways to protect them?
No.
You didn't. Number 2, did you find out anything from the police about car phone thievery? Is it rampant right now? Or?
Well, there was a lot of it. The reason it was stolen was because it was a cellular phone and we left it out on the seat. We forgot to take it out of the car. And it was sitting there.
Okay, time's up, panel. Time now to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is filled completely, the team will receive $3,000. Panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, you can decide who does give the best phone. We'll start with David Niven Jr.
Well, I was shocked that number 1 and number 3 didn't want to give us a little impersonation of their little girl voices. And in view of the fact that number 2 wasn't asked to do it, I think she would have. So I'm going to vote for number 2.
Okay. Gloria.
Well, number 3 looks like she enjoys a good joke, and she seems to laugh a lot on the show, so I'm going to vote for number 3.
Okay, Lynn?
Well, I think they could all place that phone call, especially if their husbands aren't around. It gives them a lot more latitude. But I thought number 2 was the one who would really pull the joke and try and go after the thief.
Okay. And finally, Sarah.
I'm voting against my hunch. I really thought it was number 3, but I'm kind of wondering wondering if it isn't really number 1.
Okay, a good spread after the last decision panel. Hey? After you lost your money on the first horse. All righty, the votes are all in, as you can see. 1 vote for number 1, 2 votes for number 2, 1 vote for number 3. Now for the moment of truth. Will the real Paula Thistle please stand up? Congratulations, you did it. Now, Paula, can I ask you, if you can describe it, what was the hook line? When did you know he was going to turn up for the date? What is it you said?
I think it was when I told him that he had a sexy voice, and he was impressed with that.
Well, if he was silly enough to go around stealing things, he was silly enough to turn up for a date for a woman who called him. And number 2, what's your real name? What do you really do?
My name is Carol Cruikshank, and I'm a lab administrator for a molecular biology lab at UCLA.
Okay. And number 3, 1 vote. What's your real name?
I'm Tammy Lambert. I work as an administrative assistant for a national search firm in the real estate division.
Congratulations to all of you. 3 incorrect votes at $500 a vote, so your team will receive $1,500, and thanks for being with us today on To Tell the Truth. And we'll be back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience after this.
It's not just what you do, it's...
Welcome back. Now it's time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. Burton, who do you have for us today?
Well, Gordon, today I'd like you to meet Trudy Deshaw of Santa Clara County, California.
Hello, Trudy.
Hi, Gordon.
Here's your chance to play one-on-one and win some money. I want you to meet a gentleman with 2 stories named Luke Drow. Welcome, Luke. Now, Luke is going to tell us 2 stories, Trudy, only one of which is the truth. If you can spot that true story, you'll win $500. Luke, what is your first story?
I'm a priest who loves to scuba dive. My specialty is marrying couples underwater.
Now, that may or may not be the truth, Trudy, so let's listen to Luke's second story.
A lot of people can run forwards. I run backwards. I'm the 4-time winner of the backward mile race.
Now, Trudy, you are going to get some help from the panel. They're going to ask 1 question about each story. Let's start with story number 1, that of the priest, Sarah.
How can the couples that you're marrying hear you underwater?
We have a special communication device which the Navy allows us to borrow, since civilians right now are not allowed to use that kind of device.
Lynn.
Have you ever had a couple that was running out of oxygen because they kissed too long underwater?
Well, it's not exactly the oxygen in the tanks. It's a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen, so, but no to your answer.
The nitrogen helps to laugh during the ceremony. Gloria.
I know this is kind of fishy, but are other members of the wedding party also present when you're marrying the couple underwater?
Well, we usually have witnesses there. Those are required, but only those who are able in scuba diving technique are allowed to go down underwater.
David.
What is the deepest depth that you have had this ceremony at?
We don't allow them to go anywhere deeper than 25 feet. Otherwise, we may run problems with embolism or bends.
Great thing is the seafood buffet is free. Okay, now, Trudy, you've heard Luke's first story. Now story number 2, the backwards runner. Question from Sarah.
Where do you run this backwards mile race?
It's an annual race which runs in New York City.
Lynn.
Okay, tell the truth. How many times have you tripped running backwards?
Never.
Oh, okay, sure.
Gloria.
What caused you to start running backwards instead of forwards?
The original reason was a fundraiser for the National Cancer Society.
David.
How do you see where you're going when you're running backwards?
Oh, you have to turn around once in a while.
Okay. Now, Trudy, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Luke the priest or is he the backwards runner?
Well, I'm a jogger, and I've never heard of the back running.
Back running?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Now, he seems very knowledgeable about scuba diving, so I think he's the priest.
All righty. Well, if you're right, you win $500. Luke, what is your true story?
To tell the truth, I run backwards.
I'm sorry, Trudy, you were wrong, but we do have a nice prize for you. Thank you. Oh, where did you come from? All right. Very good. Luke receives $1,000 for stumping the panel. Oh, no, hang on. No, come and shake hands with me this way. Okay, we'll be back after these words. Oh, we're off, are we? Oh, no, wrong direction. Okay. Back after this. Don't go away.
There's no white like...
Man, have you ever been kissed by a giraffe?
Join Jack Hanna, America's favorite animal expert, as he takes you and your kids on a wonderful journey into the fun-filled world of baby animals in Baby Boomers.
It's a great way for you and your kids to learn about the wonderful world of animals.
It's Baby Boomers. It's fun for the whole family, and it's your first Animal Adventures video, specially priced at $4.99. And that's not all. If you order now by credit card, you'll get Jack Hanna's favorite bloopers free.
You'll get to see how animals can surprise even me.
Here's a guy who really loves his work, and baby animals are his favorite, whether it's out of Africa or...
And use your credit card to get Jack Hanna's favorite bloopers free. That's 1-800-962-5665.
You're watching Game Show Network. Stay tuned for The Price is Right with Tom Kennedy, followed by Card Sharks, then Blockbusters.
Well, panel, that's it for this edition of To Tell the Truth. And Sarah, you did wonderfully.
I did?
And Gloria was giving very good defense interrogation, I know, also. We'll see you again next time. Cheerio now.
This is Burton Richardson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson television production. Start counting your pennies. The Price is Right is next. Then tune in for an hour of Bill Rafferty with Card Sharks and Blockbusters, only on Game Show Network.